The void of space was never truly silent. It only felt that way. Far beyond the known trade routes, beyond the borders of map systems, there was a region the alien civilizations called the Dead Zone. No signals came from there. No ships returned. Even light seemed weaker in that part of space. For centuries, it had been ignored. Until now, inside the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, tension filled the air. Tall figures from different species sat in a wide circle, each one watching the center display. The room was dim, lit only by the blue glow of holographic stars. A young officer rushed in, clearly afraid. "Council members, we have detected something." The room went still. The High Elder slowly raised his head. His voice was calm, but heavy. "From where?" The officer swallowed. "The Dead Zone." A wave of quiet whispers spread across the chamber. "That is not possible," one council member said. "Nothing comes from there." The officer shook his head. "It is not just something, it is moving." Now the room changed. Fear, confusion, disbelief, all at once. "Show us," the High Elder ordered. The hologram shifted. At first, there was nothing, just empty space. Dark, still, then a faint distortion, like space itself was bending. "It appeared suddenly," the officer explained. "No warp signature, no entry point. It was just there." The council leaned forward. Slowly, a massive shadow began to form. It was hard to understand at first. Too large, too strange. "Zoom in," someone said. The image sharpened. Gasps filled the chamber. The object was enormous, larger than any ship ever recorded, larger than some moons. Its surface was dark, almost black, but not natural. It looked built, designed, structured. Layers upon layers of metal, an unknown material formed its body. "It is a station?" one member asked. "No," another replied. "It is moving." The officer nodded. "It has a trajectory, directly toward council space." Silence. The High Elder spoke again, slower this time. "Scan it." "We already tried," the officer said quickly. "Scanners fail. Signals pass through it like it is not there. We cannot read its energy. We cannot detect life." "That is impossible." "Yes, we thought so too." Another officer appeared on the screen, speaking urgently. "All nearby patrol ships have been notified. They are attempting closer scans." "Put them on display," the High Elder said. The hologram split into multiple views. Small alien ships approached the massive object. Compared to it, they looked like dust. "Maintain distance," one pilot said over the comms. "We do not know what this is." "Agreed," another replied. "Running active scan." There was a pause, then confusion. "My scanners are blank." "Same here. I am not receiving anything." Inside the council chamber, the tension grew heavier. "What kind of object cannot be scanned?" one member whispered. The High Elder did not answer. His eyes stayed fixed on the image. Then something changed. The massive object moved. Not fast, not suddenly, but enough. It turned slightly, and in that moment, its shape became clearer. It was not a station. It was not debris. It was a ship, a warship. The design was unlike anything the Council had ever seen. It was not smooth or elegant like most advanced vessels. It was rough, layered, built for strength, not beauty. Weapons were visible across its surface. Massive structures that could only be guns. "This is a weapon," one council member said, his voice shaking. "No," another corrected. "This is a fleet inside one ship." The patrol ships grew more cautious. "Object has changed orientation," a pilot reported. "It is now facing us." "Do not provoke it," command replied. "Hold position." But it was already too late. The warship reacted. Without warning, a pulse spread from its body. Not visible, but real. Every patrol ship froze. Systems not responding. "I have lost control. My weapons are offline." Panic filled the comms. Back in the council chamber, voices rose in alarm. "What is happening?" The officer spoke quickly. "They are not destroyed, but all systems are disabled." The High Elder leaned forward. It is not attacking. He paused. It is showing power. The room fell silent again. The message was clear. The unknown ship could destroy them, but chose not to, for now. Then something even more shocking happened. A signal appeared, weak at first, then clear. "Council, we are receiving a transmission," the officer said. "From the object?" "Yes. Play it." The room held its breath. A voice came through. Calm, simple, cold. "Stay away." That was all. No introduction, no explanation, no threat, just 2 words. But those 2 words carried weight. Fear spread through the chamber. "Who are they?" someone whispered. No known language match, but translation systems adapted quickly, the officer said. The High Elder closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again, sent a response. "What should we say?" He thought carefully, then spoke. "We are the Galactic Council. Identify yourself." The message was sent. Everyone waited. Seconds passed. Then minutes. No reply. The massive warship continued moving. Slow, silent, unstoppable. "It is ignoring us," one member said. "Or it does not care," another replied. The High Elder looked at the display again. "Track its path." "It is heading toward our outer systems," the officer answered. A heavy silence returned. Then one of the council members spoke, his voice filled with worry. "If it reaches our colonies—" He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. Everyone understood. The High Elder stood up. "For centuries, we believed we understood the galaxy." He looked around the room. "We were wrong." No one argued. "Prepare all defensive fleets," he continued, "but do not engage unless necessary." "Elder," one member said carefully, "what if it is already too late?" The High Elder did not respond immediately. His eyes returned to the image. The giant warship, moving through space like it owned it. No fear, no hesitation. Finally he spoke. "Then we will learn what fear truly is." Far away, near the edge of council space, the patrol ships remained frozen, helpless, watching. The massive warship passed them slowly. As it moved, small sections of its surface opened. Tiny objects came out. Drones. Hundreds of them. Each one moving with precision. Each one powerful. The patrol ships could do nothing. "This is not a single weapon," one pilot whispered. "This is an army." The drone spread out, scanning everything, mapping, watching, preparing. And still, the main ship did nothing else. No attack, no destruction, only presence, only control. Back in the council chamber, the situation became worse. More signals detected. The officer said suddenly, "From where?" The officer hesitated. "Behind the first object, deep in the dead zone." The room went cold. "How many?" the High Elder asked. The officer looked at the data, then spoke quietly. "Unknown, but not one." A deep silence filled the chamber. The High Elder slowly sat down. "This was not an accident," he said. "This was a message." The massive warship continued forward, silent, dark, terrifying. And for the first time in history, the Galactic Council felt something they had never felt before. Not curiosity, not anger, but fear. Because whatever was coming was far beyond their understanding. And this was only the beginning. The Galactic Council had faced wars before. They had seen empires rise and fall. They had watched stars burn and civilizations vanish. Nothing in their long history had truly shaken them. Until now, the chamber was no longer calm. Voices overlapped. Some demanded action. Others called for retreat. Fear had replaced order. The High Elder remained silent, watching the display. The Titan-class warship continued its slow path toward council space. Around it, hundreds of drones moved like a swarm, perfectly controlled, perfectly quiet. No wasted movement, no signals, no mistakes. "They are mapping everything," one officer said. "How can you be sure?" a council member asked. The officer pointed at the data streams. "They are scanning our outer defenses, our routes, our satellites, but not in a normal way. They are not sending signals. They are reading space itself. The room grew colder. That is not possible, someone whispered. It is happening, the officer replied. The High Elder finally spoke. Send another message. What should we say this time? A council member asked. He paused, choosing his words carefully. Tell them we do not want conflict. The message was sent. Again, the council waited. Seconds passed. Nothing. Minutes passed. Still nothing. The silence was worse than any threat. They are ignoring us, one member said. No, the High Elder said quietly. They are choosing not to respond. The difference mattered. Far away, near the outer defense line, a fleet of advanced council warships prepared for contact. These were not small patrol ships. These were battle cruisers, armed with the most powerful weapons the council possessed. Their commander, General Varys, stood on the bridge of the lead ship. His eyes were fixed on the dark shape ahead. Distance, he asked. Closing slowly, the navigator replied. The object is not speeding up. That means it is not afraid, Varys said. No one answered. They all knew he was right. Open a direct channel, Varys ordered. Channel open. Varys stepped forward. This is General Varys of the Galactic Council. He said, clearly, you are entering restricted space. Identify yourself. Silence. The giant warship did not respond. Varys clenched his jaw. Prepare a warning shot. General, one officer said nervously, we do not know how it will react. That is why it is a warning shot, Varys replied. The weapon system charged. A beam of energy fired from the cruiser. It struck empty space in front of the Titan warship. A clear message. Stop. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the Titan warship moved. Not away. Forward. Slow. Steady. Unstoppable. It is not stopping, the navigator said. Varys felt something cold run through him. Second warning shot. He ordered. Another beam fired. Closer this time. Still, the warship did not react. It did not dodge. It did not shield. It simply continued. General, an officer whispered, I do not think it cares. Before Varys could respond, every system on the bridge went dark. Lights off, screens blank, weapons offline, engines silent. What just happened? Someone shouted. Complete system failure, another yelled. Varys tried to stay calm. Backup systems. No response. Across the fleet, the same thing was happening. Dozens of powerful warships. Frozen. Helpless. The Titan warship passed through them like they were nothing. No attack. No destruction. Just control. Varys stood still, his heart pounding. They could have destroyed us, he said slowly. But they didn't. One officer looked at him. Why? Varys did not answer. He already knew, because this was not war. This was a demonstration. Back in the council chamber, panic spread again. The entire defense fleet is disabled. How is this possible? We cannot fight this. The High Elder raised his hand. Silence. The room obeyed. He looked at the display again. The Titan warship was now deep inside council space. Nothing had stopped it. Nothing could. Then, a new signal appeared. Stronger than before. Clear. Direct. Transmission incoming, the officer said. Play it. The High Elder ordered. The same voice returned. Calm. Cold. But this time longer. You fired. The room froze. We warned you. A pause. Then, do not do it again. The message ended. No anger. No emotion. Just a simple statement. But it felt like a command. They are talking to us like we are children, one council member said, his voice shaking. No, the High Elder replied. They are talking to us like we are not a threat. That was worse. Much worse. Far beyond the main warship, the drones continued their work. One of them approached a distant asteroid field. It stopped. For a moment, it hovered. Then, a small beam fired. The asteroid shattered instantly. Not cracked. Not damaged. Gone. Completely erased. Nearby sensors recorded the event. Energy output beyond known limits. Precision beyond understanding. That was one drone, an officer whispered. The data reached the council. No one spoke. No one needed to. The message was clear. If one drone could do that, what could the warship do? Or worse, what could the others do? More signals detected. The officer suddenly said. From where? The High Elder asked. Multiple directions, outside our borders. The display changed. Dots appeared. Then more. Then more. Each one massive. Each one identical. Titan-class warships. Not one, not two, but many. They are surrounding us, someone said. The realization hit the room like a wave. This was not an encounter. This was an arrival. They planned this, the High Elder said. For how long? Another member asked. No one had the answer. Then the High Elder spoke again. Find out who they are. The officer worked quickly, searching databases. Old records. Lost signals. Anything. Then, I found something, he said. Speak. The High Elder ordered. A forgotten signal, very old. It was ignored at the time. He brought it up. A simple message. From a distant system. We are humanity. Silence filled the chamber. Humanity? One member repeated. We have no record of such a species. They were classified as primitive, the officer said. Not a threat, not advanced. The room went still. The High Elder stared at the words. Primitive. He looked back at the massive warships on the screen. No, he said slowly. They were patient. Far out in space, the Titan warship continued its path. Unstoppable, untouched, untouchable. And behind it, an entire force waited in silence. Watching, learning, ready. Back in the council chamber, the High Elder made a decision. Cancel all expansion operations, he said. Recall all fleets. Activate full defense protocols. One council member looked at him in shock. Elder, are we surrendering? The High Elder did not hesitate. No. He looked at the display one last time. We are surviving. The Titan warship moved deeper into their space. Still silent. Still watching. And the council finally understood something terrifying. The silence was not weakness. It was control. And humanity had not even begun to show its true power. The galaxy had always believed in one simple rule. Power makes noise. Strong empires showed their strength. They built massive fleets, loud weapons, bright shields. They wanted to be seen. They wanted others to fear them. But what the Galactic Council was facing now was different. This power was silent, and that made it far more dangerous. Inside the council chamber, no one was arguing anymore. No one was shouting. Fear had settled into something heavier, understanding. The display showed the same thing again and again. Multiple Titan-class warships, each one moving slowly, each one perfectly positioned. They are not attacking, one council member said quietly. Not yet, another replied. The High Elder stood still, his eyes locked on the map. Zoom out, he ordered. The hologram expanded. More space appeared. More stars. More signals. And then, more Titans. A deep silence filled the room. They are not just near us, the officer whispered. They are everywhere. The realization spread like cold air. This was not a fleet. This was a network. They planned this long ago, the High Elder said. For how long? Someone asked again. This time there was an answer. The officer stepped forward, holding new data. We found more old signals. Hidden, ignored, very weak. Show them. The hologram changed. Ancient transmissions appeared. Old probes, lost satellites, forgotten messages, all from the same unknown source. Humanity. They were watching us, the officer said. Learning. Adapting. A council member shook his head. That is not possible. No species waits this long. The High Elder spoke softly. A patient one does. Far across the stars, one of the Titan warships reached a small system, a mining colony. No defenses, no fleet, only workers. The colony detected the ship too late. Alarm sounded. Panic spread. Unknown object approaching. Size impossible. Requesting help, but help would not come in time. The Titan stopped above the colony. It did not fire. It did not move. It simply hovered, watching. The people below waited. Fear filled every corner. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Then, a message came. Clear. Simple. We see you. That was all. No attack. No threat. The message spread through the system. Back to the council. To every listening station. They are not destroying the colony, one member said. Why? Another asked. No one understood. Until the High Elder spoke. They do not need to. The room looked at him. This is control, he continued. They show power without using it. Far away, another Titan moved near a dense asteroid belt. Council observers watched closely. This is a test, one officer said. The Titan opened a section of its surface. A massive structure emerged, larger than most ships. A weapon. Energy gathered. Slowly. Quietly. No sound. No light. Just pressure. Then it fired. A single beam. The asteroid belt vanished. Not broken. Not scattered. Gone. Completely erased from existence. Sensors failed to measure the energy. Data systems crashed trying to understand it. That is not a weapon, one scientist whispered. That is extinction. Back in the council chamber, no one spoke. They simply watched. The High Elder closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again. They are showing us everything. What do you mean? A council member asked. They are teaching us, he said. Teaching us what? Someone whispered. The High Elder looked at the display. How small we are. Silence. Deep and heavy. Then suddenly, movement detected, an officer shouted. All eyes turned to the screen. One of the Titans was changing. Its surface shifted. Layers moved. Parts opened. It was transforming. What is it doing? Someone asked. No one answered. Then, smaller ships began to emerge. Hundreds. No, thousands. Each one perfectly shaped. Each one advanced. Each one ready. It is carrying a fleet inside it. The officer said, his voice shaking. A fleet inside a fleet. The smaller ships spread out, taking positions, covering space. Perfect formation. Perfect control. They could have attacked at any moment, one member said. Yes, the High Elder replied. But they didn't. That was the most terrifying part. Far out, General Varys and his fleet were still drifting. Helpless. Their systems dead. Their weapons useless. Then, everything came back online. Lights returned. Screens activated. Engines responded. What? One officer said in shock. They released us. Varys said slowly. Why? Another asked. Varys looked at the massive Titan in the distance. He understood now, so we can report. Back in the council chamber, the final piece fell into place. They want us to see this, the High Elder said. They want us to understand. Another message arrived, stronger than before, clear across all systems. Transmission incoming. The room went silent. Play it. The voice returned. The same calm tone. The same simple words. We were quiet. A pause. We were patient. Another pause. Now we are here. The message ended. No threats. No demands. Just truth. The council members looked at each other. No one spoke. No one needed to. They all felt it. This was not the beginning of a war. This was the end of their control. They let us grow, one member said quietly. They watched us build. Another added. The High Elder nodded. And now, he looked at the endless Titans on the display. They have surpassed us. Far in the distance, the Titan warships held their positions, not attacking, not retreating, just waiting, like giants watching something small. The galaxy had changed, not with fire, not with war, but with presence, with silence, with power beyond understanding. Back in the chamber, the High Elder gave his final order. Prepare full diplomatic protocol. A council member looked at him in shock. Diplomatic? After this? The High Elder did not hesitate. Yes. He took a deep breath. Because if we fight, he looked at the display one last time. We will not exist long enough to regret it. The room fell silent again. And for the first time in their long history, the Galactic Council was not planning to win. They were planning to survive. Far beyond their reach, deep in the darkness, more Titans waited. More than anyone could count. Humanity had not just arrived. They had revealed themselves. And the truth was clear. They had always been there, watching, learning, preparing. And now, nothing in the galaxy could stop them. The galaxy no longer felt the same. Nothing had exploded. No worlds had burned. No fleets had been destroyed. And yet, everything had changed. Across thousands of systems, one truth spread faster than any signal. Humanity was real, and humanity was beyond anything they understood. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, the silence had become permanent. No one argued anymore. No one questioned. They had seen enough. The Titan-class warship still surrounded their space. Still watching. Still waiting. They are holding position. An officer said. For how long? A council member asked. No one answered. The High Elder stood at the center, older than ever before. They are giving us time, he said. Time for what? Another member asked. To decide, he replied. The question was simple. Fight or survive. Far out in space, the main Titan warship moved again. Slowly, deliberately, it changed direction. Not toward a colony, not toward a fleet, but toward the heart of Council space. Toward the central system. They are coming here, the officer said, fear in his voice. The chamber grew cold. How long? The High Elder asked. Not long. The High Elder closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them. Prepare a full welcome channel. Some members looked shocked. Welcome, one said. Elder, this is not a guest. No, he replied calmly. This is a force we cannot stop. He looked around the room. So we will not try. Far away, General Varys watched the Titan move past his fleet. His ships were active again. Weapons ready. Engines online. But no one moved. Order, General? One officer asked. Varys stared at the massive ship. Every instinct told him to attack, to defend, to fight. But something deeper stopped him. Stand down, he said quietly. But that is an order. The fleet remained still. The Titan passed through them once more, untouched, unchallenged, as if they were not even there. Back in the council chamber, the final preparations were complete. Communication channel ready. The officer said, all systems connected. The High Elder stepped forward. For the first time, he felt unsure, but he did not show it. Open channel. A moment passed. Then, the connection formed. The room dimmed. The display changed. At first, nothing. Just darkness. Then, slowly, a shape appeared. Not the full warship. Not its weapons. Just a small section. A surface. Cold. Metallic. Perfect. They are showing only what they want. The High Elder whispered. A voice came. Clear. Calm. We are listening. The High Elder took a breath. This is the Galactic Council, he said. We request dialogue. Silence. Then, you already have it. The High Elder paused. We wish to understand your intentions. A short pause. Then the answer came. Our intention is simple. The entire chamber leaned forward. To exist without threat. The words were clear, but heavy. The High Elder spoke carefully. You have entered our space with overwhelming force. That creates fear. The voice responded immediately. Fear is not our goal. Another pause. But it is your result. The High Elder could not deny that. Then tell us, he said, what do you want from us? Silence filled the chamber again. Longer this time. Heavier. Then, we want distance. Confusion spread across the room. Distance? A council member whispered. The High Elder spoke again. You came to our borders. The voice corrected him. No. A pause. You came close to ours. The meaning hit instantly. The dead zone. The place they had ignored. It was not empty. It never was. It was human space. You were expanding. The voice continued. You were approaching. The High Elder felt the weight of those words. They had not been attacked. They had been warned. We did not know, he said honestly. Now the silence changed. Not cold, not threatening, just still. Now you do. Those 3 words ended any doubt. The High Elder lowered his head slightly. A mistake, he said. One we will correct. The chamber went completely still. No one had ever heard a High Elder admit fault. But this was not pride anymore. This was survival. The voice returned. Correction is acceptable. A small wave of relief passed through the room. But understand this, the voice continued. The tone did not change. Still calm. Still simple. But now, final. We do not warn twice. The message settled deep into every mind. Not a threat. A fact. The High Elder nodded slowly. It will not be needed. Far across the stars, something began to change. The Titan warships started to move. Not forward. Not aggressive. They were leaving. One by one. System by system. Silently. Quickly. As if they had never been there. They are retreating, an officer said in shock. No, the High Elder replied. They are returning. The difference mattered. A lot. The channel was still open. The High Elder spoke one last time. Before you go, tell us your name. A pause. Then the answer came. We are humanity. The name echoed through the chamber. Simple, but now unforgettable. And this, the voice continued, was our first contact. The connection ended. Just like that. No goodbye. No delay. Only silence. The display returned to normal. The Titan warships were gone. The signals faded. The space around them felt empty again. But it was not the same emptiness. This time, it was understood. Back in the chamber, no one moved. No one spoke. Finally, one council member whispered, "We survived." The High Elder looked at the stars. "Yes," he said quietly. "We did." But his expression did not change, because he knew something the others were still trying to understand. They had not been tested. They had been measured, and they had barely passed. He turned to the chamber, marked the human border. He ordered, highest restriction level. No ship crosses it. No signal enters it. No mistake repeats. Everyone nodded. No one would forget. Far away, deep inside the darkness of the dead zone, the Titan warships returned, one by one, joining countless others. Silent, hidden, watching. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy. They had not destroyed it. They had done something far more powerful. They had drawn a line, clear, final, untouchable, and the entire galaxy understood some lines must never be crossed.